Hey, it's Jen, Bitch in a Hurry, Not So Mystical Tarot. This is going to be your reading for Sun, Moon, or Rising Capricorn for November 15th through the 30th, 2018. You can find me on Instagram at Bitch in a Hurry. You can find me at bitchinahurry.com. I would like to say thank you so much to everyone who has participated in the Halloween sale I had, 31% off all readings during that time from the Saturday before Halloween through the Saturday after Halloween. These videos will probably be published that Friday before the sale is over. So you still have a day to get in on the sale. And like I said, I'm having a great time. I'm very surprised by the response. So thank you again if you booked a reading. I cannot wait to get to know you. I've gotten a few of them done already, and I look forward to finishing them all up. But I really appreciate the support and the sweet messages and the love. Thank you a ton. We had the full moon in Taurus on October 24th, which was a time to like release like old boring routines, or if you're in a rut with like your job or your house or your life in general, it was a time to like identify these boring routines that we're stuck in and to move forward and release all of that. We had a conjunction with Uranus, which allowed this time for you to like break free of whatever these things were. Like I said, it could just be a routine that you've gotten into with your personal life or your work life, whatever it is. But it was time to kind of identify all the old, boring, terrible, not exciting stuff and get rid of it. Don't waste your time with it anymore. It didn't bring you joy, you know. Now, on November 7th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, which is a time of transformation. In Scorpio, it's a dig deep, you know, deep emotional stuff here. And this transformation is likely personal. It's likely a time of personal transformation. And a lot of times this is going to come through an act of forgiveness. And this can be forgiving yourself. Oftentimes it's really us forgiving ourselves or forgiving another person, because a lot of times, you know, when we feel we've been wronged by someone, we're very upset or whatever, and the other person's like doing whatever they do, they don't really care. So most of the time we're tortured by the fact that we need to forgive ourselves for whatever bad decision we've made or whatever problem we think we somehow caused, whatever the case may be. But this video should be out the Friday, hopefully the Friday before this would happen. Yes, it will be out the Friday before this new moon happens. So you have a little time to prepare, do some more research, watch your moon and rising sign video. I have videos up for the new moon in Scorpio for November 7th already. So if you have not seen that for your sun, moon, or rising sign, go and watch those because they're in the group before this. So it should give you some more clarity. It may give you some more ideas toward what you need to focus on during this new moon time. Let's take full advantage of this transformation, right? Let's do this thing. All right, and your cards came flying out today, which is really exciting. So for my Capricorns, we start out here with the Six of Swords. You have been through it. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was mentally exhausting for you. You have been through something that was mentally exhausting. It may have been a good thing. I don't think it was a bad thing, but whatever it was, it took a lot out of you. And it's okay. It's time to take a little bit of a rest. Everything is in its place. You see, everybody's in their place. They're all sitting there, and she's taking a little rest up here. It's okay. Take a little bit of a rest. Take a breather. You've been through something pretty intense, emotionally. Not emotionally. I mean, more intellectually. It could be maybe you finished up a really strenuous project at work. Maybe you have made some personal decisions and they were very stressful for you. But whatever you've done, this was a good thing. This is not a card of doom and gloom. This is a good thing, but it did take its mental toll on you. And you may just be mentally like, oh, I need a mental health day. And if you can't take a mental health day, because I mean, obviously that's irresponsible at times, but maybe you could take a mental health hour, go sit in the library, but you definitely need this. So you have been through it, and you especially need it because you have this chariot energy like thundering down at you, okay? So there is something that you are working on. There is something in the back of your mind, and you are ready to kind of like make a go of it. And this energy right here is here to feed that desire. And you see, I mean, you can see the rushing of this chariot Now, I want to explain something to you. This is kind of like unbridled, sort of wild energy. So you need to be a little bit mindful to not just like let this fully engage without kind of keeping an eye on what's happening, okay? You're going to want to rein this in a touch. And the beautiful thing about this card is, see the little turtles under here? Turtles are a symbol of like patience, taking your time. This is telling me to temper what's going on with this massive amount of energy here. Temper that with a little bit of patience. So you may not go from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds like you see it in your mind, but you will get there. So temper this, especially this unbridled kind of I want to say crazy sort of energy. It's hard to control. You're going to want to kind of, I don't want to say like dumb it down, but you're going to want to kind of mellow it out a little bit. So if there's a way that you can find, like stay off the coffee, okay? You don't need any more jitteriness, any more like, spastic energy. You don't need anything else. You've got it. The universe is going to provide you with enough motivation and energy, more than you could ever need. So you don't need to add to that. Like I would definitely avoid like a major caffeine overdose, or if you're somebody who does a lot of caffeine, this may be a time to kind of dial that back, because that combined with this kind of energy could be not great. So I would say, like, you know how when you're all caffeined up and you're all kind of spastic and you're jumpy with people, and I would think this would be a great time if you have a kind of a caffeine issue to dial that back a little bit. It's just something that I'm hearing. More on this note though about this energy that you have. You see the Empress, which means you have something that you want to give the world. You want to give the world something. You're working on that. There's something in your mind that you want to share with the world. And it could be good news. It could be that maybe you want to start a family. It could be that you want to, I don't know, you have an idea that you want to share with the world. You want to build a website. You want to start a blog, and maybe you have, I don't know, maybe you're like a DIY person and you do all these amazing projects and you want to share them with the world and help other people. It could be anything. Maybe you want to have a YouTube channel. It could be anything in the world, but there is something that is like near and dear to you that you want to share with the world. And this energy that you have here coming up, this energy is going to absolutely help you actually implement that. Like whether it's building a website, or maybe you want to start a family, or maybe you want to open a school. I don't know what you want to do, but there is something big that you really want to do, and this energy will give you that. Because you know how we talked about this kind of crazy energy you have here. This next card is great because you have the Hierophant, which is oftentimes a priest, or institutions, schools, churches, but also it's also like a teacher, philosopher. And I always say you're your own best teacher, right? So whatever it is that you want to build and do, or whatever you want to give the world, look to yourself deep down. You have the answers on how to do this. You really do have the answers. And if you feel like you need some guidance, feel free to see maybe if you have someone in your life that you look up to, like it could be a priest, it could be a counselor, it could be a mentor you have at work, it could be anyone. But if there's someone like this in your life, maybe you can trust, you could take your ideas to them, and they may be able to help you kind of corral that energy and sort of channel it into the right direction to go to begin, so that you could share this gift with the world. We have a message that comes in energy-wise, so there is a message here for you. This is like the message of, keep going, don't give up, don't quit, keep taking the action, because you're moving in the right direction. This action you're taking is moving you in the right direction, and don't get discouraged, because I know, especially when you have this much energy, if you don't get this much response back, you may at first feel discouraged, and it may put you off, but don't let that happen, because in this whole thing that you have, that you're working on, it comes to fruition with this King of Cups. Whatever this is something that makes you very happy. Like it's deeply satisfying for you, not just on a monetary level, like you're going to make money from it. It's just something that brings you an immense amount of emotional satisfaction and joy. I feel like it's helping people do something. I don't know what. I mean, like I said, it could even be like a beauty blog. It could be anything. But there's something that you want to give the world that's really going to help people in whatever way that you define help. But it's going to give you a ton of joy. So take this message from the page and keep right on going. Keep right on trucking along. Do not give up and do not quit, because you will miss out on this. One thing I do see here coming is the Tower, and I think this may have already happened, and I believe this may be the fallout from the Tower. This, okay, I need a mental health day, time for me to rest, and that's okay. I believe this Tower is like in the past, like this has already happened, and this is usually a shakeup or a change, something that you may or may not have planned for, didn't see coming. It could be like your company could have been bought out, could be anything. It could be that a relationship you had been in for a long time is over. You could have had to move houses, or whatever it is. There was some kind of change, but that change it's in the past, and you're recovered from that change, and actually you've come out on the other side of it in a better position. And like I said, I think that's where this mental health day kind of came from, that, okay, like I said, something has happened, like you've been through it, something has gone on, and now you're in a state of like, okay, I need just a little bit of a mental break from this, and then I'm going to move forward. Here we have the Queen of Swords coming up next, and the Queen of Swords is, objective, smart, like she's not missing anything. She is not emotional when it comes to decision making. She is kind of all business. She's intellectual, and she's going to be very helpful for you, because with this like thundering energy, this can also be like a kind of Cancer energy, which is very highly emotionally charged. You have this King of Cups. Whatever this project you're working on is highly emotionally charged. You have the Empress, something that you want to share and give to the world, highly emotionally charged. So you have this Queen of Swords to kind of temper all of that out, to kind of be very objective, so that you don't go off the rails, because this, whatever this is that you're thinking about doing, is really it's emotionally kind of jazzes you up a little bit, and it's a lot, and it's very exciting to you. That's why I say you could easily get discouraged, and I don't want that to happen, but I do want you to keep your objective outlook on it. When things, and you guys are earth signs, so you aren't like head in the clouds, woo woo land. I get that. You guys are the earth sign. You, Taurus, and the Virgos. So you are pretty level-headed, but when it comes to something like this, you could get a little wonky. So use that Queen of Swords that you have as because you do have a good, solid, objective mind. Next up that we have here is this King of Wands. And the King of Wands, like I always say, this is like the card that reminds me of like the Midas touch. Look at all this gold. There's like a brand new everything. The sun is up. Everything is gorgeous. Yeah, he is the most charismatic, action-oriented card in the deck. Like, this is the kind of card where people can't say no. So if you can get yourself organized, and you can get these ideas to make sense, and you can kind of corral all this crazy energy that you're having, and make like a solid kind of a plan to move forward from, people are going to really receive this very well. You're going to have this emotional satisfaction, but others are going to be like they won't be able to say no. They'll be like, that's awesome. They won't be able to say no. And you make sure to keep your objective mind in play too. Like I said, it's easy to get really emotional about things. So and when it's something that's near and dear to your heart, it's very easy for that to happen. But remember, you are in a place where people just really can't say no to you. So here we have the Ten of Swords. This is something ending so that something else can begin. So you kind of have come full circle, and you see she's like not even fighting them. I think for this big project, this thing that you want to do, and like I said, this could even be releasing something emotionally. It may not be that you're going to, start a giant website and make $1 million this year, but it may be a personal decision that you've made that's very important to you that you want to share with the world. Well, you have to let some things go to let some stuff come in. And this is kind of the full circle of this card here, where you've kind of been through it. I don't think that you're done letting go of it, though, from this big change that happened. So you've kind of been through it. You've processed it. You've started something new. At this point, it's time to let this go. Whatever it was that was holding you back before, it's now time to let it go. You don't want to hang on to it anymore. It's over and it's done. It may be hard. The change sometimes is made for us and not decided by us. And I feel like this change that is in the background for you was not your decision. And so it is time to let this go. You see, she's just like, whatever, fine, let it go. And all it may take, we'll finish up with this card, is the Hanged Man, a different perspective. And you can see he's not hung here, not of his own free will. He's just kind of hanging there looking around, but it's a completely and entirely different perspective. So you're going to want to take a look at the situation that was decided for you, possibly in a different way, so that you're able to let it go. I look forward to hearing from you guys.